In this episode, do you deload or just simply rest?
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 249 of the Daily Mother Swole. I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. The bearded one is here, and the knowledge bombs are about to drop in the form of huge, fleshy biceps from the sky. Thank you for joining me live on Facebook every day at 12 noon Eastern Time. Thanks for watching on YouTube and listening to the Swolenormous podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. This is episode 249 of the Daily Swole. So make sure, again, when I flex, you at home, prop your phone up, do something. You got to flex at least one bicep. At least one bicep. You might not want to flex 3 biceps like me, but I'm the only person in the world that has 3 biceps. Get it? By 2, 3. Oh my God. There's got to be something that sets me apart. And if I had 3 biceps, I'd flex them all. But that doesn't make any fucking sense. And doesn't matter. It's Tuesday. We're ready to have some fun with the Daily Swole, episode 249. This episode about deloading or rest. Deload or rest. So let's define first what deload means, and then we'll talk about what rest means and how you can use both of these things. Now it is the new year. It is the second week, and you have been super motivated to take what you said you were going to do for a couple months, a couple years, and now you're doing it. You are finally working out. You have been doing it for a week. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. It is a big accomplishment, especially if you are new to fitness. So you're doing it. You're actually doing it. This is happening. Now that you have been working out for a week, you plan on doing this for 2 weeks, of course, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and beyond. You have to prepare yourself for the time when you need to back off your training. And I'm going to explain why. Deloading or rest. And I'm not talking right now, I guess I am, about rest days. You're going to have rest days during the week. It might be a Wednesday. Today might be your rest day. You might throw in a rest day just because you can't make it to the gym because your car breaks down. Something happens and you can't make it. So you're like, okay, I'll just work out tomorrow. Today will be my rest day, and then you'll change your schedule. That makes sense. But there's going to be times when you need to take several days off, when you take a week off, when you need to back off your training. Is it wise to take a week off and do absolutely nothing? Or should you be planning ahead so that never has to happen so you can see more consistent progress? In my opinion, complete rest doing absolutely nothing doesn't make as much sense in longer periods of time. For me, that almost means that you didn't do things properly. You didn't plan properly. If you have to take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off from training. I was pretty burnt out, and I ended up doing that. I took off like 2 or 3 weeks off from lifting weights. But I was doing other things. I was doing yoga. I was doing lower intensity exercise. So what is the difference, and when does it occur where you have to take time off? Okay, I'm not working out. I'm not going to lift anything. I'm not going to do anything. Or do I deload? And what deloading means, it means decreasing the number of sets and repetitions in order to give your body physical activity, but relieve the pressure and lighten the weight, deload, so to speak. I know it's kind of ironic because you're literally lightening and decreasing the weight, but you're not doing as much. You're not doing as much. And I think that oftentimes rest days and time off from the gym, people just take time off and they stop. And this is why it's bad. If you were going to take a complete rest day, you might need it. If you were going to take a complete week off or 2 weeks off, complete, I'm talking not doing anything, usually the diet goes with it. Usually the diet, the mentality, the habit, everything gets broken. because you are not scheduling your workouts. Now, I've talked to some people in premium. I've talked to many people outside of premium, just in general in conversation. But we had this conversation in premium discussing why people have weekend issues, why the weekend is a problem for people, and why people change everything. And more often than not, the answer is because the schedule changes. You're not working at the same time. If you do a Monday through Friday, you might not be driving to the gym in the same pattern, in the same habit that you normally would. You're not eating at 6 o'clock in the morning because you're not working at 7. You're off. You're off that day. So you end up sleeping in, and then you wake up, and then it's 11 o'clock. So you end up having lunch, and then, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym because I want to do X, Y, and Z. Your whole system is off. Your whole pattern is off, so things don't happen the same way. So you end up just rejecting it. When you're not exercising, usually the food, why would I eat healthy? It's not something that you maybe consciously think. You don't think, okay, I'm not working out today, so I'm going to eat like garbage and destroy my results. No, you don't really think that. You might not think that. You might not have that mentality. But in reality, you're telling your body the pattern is different. These patterns don't have to match. When I don't work out, the eating healthy doesn't match that pattern, so don't do that. You still have other habits. Remember when you were lazy and you didn't work out and you didn't eat healthy either? When you go back to not exercising or not working out, your body goes back to those other habits. You thought you kicked them? No. Your association with habits changed. When you work out, you eat healthier. But then when you don't work out, your other habits rebound right back because your body remembers what it's like not to work out. And one day you might be fine, but when you start stringing together 3, 4, 5+ days of lack of exercise, you really fall off the other end when it comes to your results. You fall off your pattern. You fall off that system that you've created, and you've worked really hard to create it. And if you've been working out now, let's say you did start on January 1st, and it's January 10th or whatever, you haven't created those habits yet. You might feel really good. You might be consistent, but don't get it twisted. You're nowhere near cementing that into your body as a way of life. Trust me. They say it takes 21 days. I think it takes 41 days. I think it takes a lot longer than 21 days. I've done things for 21 days and stopped. So you have to still continue it. It's not a habit if you stop on day 22. You need to perpetuate this. The longer you do it, the more of a habit it will be. Just like me with the Daily Swole. With this daily show at 12 noon Eastern time, in my mind and in people around me, at 12 o'clock, it has like this glowing, aura around it. 12 o'clock is always just, I'm here or I'm doing the show. It's so habitual. But the association with rest and lack of everything healthy is very strong. So don't think that it's just cured. So deloading or rest. When should you rest? Well, I think that doing 2 or 3 weeks, I don't think really, if you do everything properly leading up to that point, you should never really have to take weeks and weeks off from the gym completely. Because if you're taking your rest days in between, if you're listening to your body and you're resting during the week, like doing a day or 2 of rest and spreading that out and taking 2 days off when you need to, adding yoga and deloading, like a deloading week, a week where you do a lighter training where instead of doing chest and triceps or chest and biceps or legs or all these heavier overloaded body parts and body part splits, you do 2 total body workouts or 3 total body workouts and you do 2 or 3 days of yoga. Like do yoga. Do yoga on those deloading weeks. That's not lack of exercise. You're changing your exercise. Even if you're taking a day off. Set aside the time when you normally work out and do some stretching or do some foam rolling. Do some self-myofascial release, do a yoga class, or do a couple stretches. Just do a couple basic stretches for 10, 15 minutes. Like set aside that workout time for some active rest time. You don't have to go to the gym, but scheduling something fitness related in that period, doing some foam rolling. Foam roll for half an hour. You don't have to foam roll for 2 hours, but do 20 minutes or 30 minutes of foam rolling, do some stretching, but at least put that in your day so then you're not going to be eating McDonald's all day and then foam rolling. It's not going to throw you off as much. And it might not be something where in one day your habit's broken, but if you do this as a habit where you do nothing and you go off your diet and you cheat on the day that you rest, it's going to fall out of it you're going to fall out of it even more. If you associate rest days with cheat days, that's going to be something that we're going to talk about a lot. associating rest days with cheat days. That's one of the quickest ways to fall out of exercise and your whole pattern completely. And that's what's going to be. We're going to talk about that tomorrow in tomorrow's episode. We're going to talk about cheat days. We're going to talk about cheating. We're going to talk about, eating crap. I'm not talking about eating crap right now. I'm talking about taking a day off from the gym. I want you to think about stretching, myofascial release, the SMR, the foam rolling with the rollers. I want you to think about doing total body and lighter, less to failure workouts for a week, more mobility, yoga. And I want you to use rest days properly with scheduled things in them like foam rolling or stretching, and use them wisely. Don't take 2 weeks off from nothing from the gym. Use rest days periodically during your workout scheduling, during your week, once or twice a week, for example, when you need to, but add in active rest. Add deloading even one day or an entire week. If you're having trouble, let's say your strength is decreasing and you're doing strength training program, you have a lot of injuries, you're having injuries or nagging tendonitis and inflammation. If you're having soreness, muscular soreness that's lagging and lingering, it's not healing as quick, you could be overtraining. You're short of breath, you're not as hungry as you normally are, you're not sleeping well, you're moody, you're very cranky, or you're up and down, mood swings. These could all be reasons that you're overtraining. So if you see some of these signs of overtraining, you need to back off your training. Either complete rest in extreme situations or deloading and backing off the intensity, because in the long run, you want to be doing this in February, you want to be doing this in June, you want to be doing this at the end of the year. I want to be talking to all of you that have seen great progress in November and in December. You don't have to worry about New Year's resolutions next year because you're already going to keep on doing it, right? It's only week 2, but some people are already falling off the bandwagon. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. Start being smart and make sure you tune in to tomorrow's episode of the Daily Swole. Tomorrow, those of you that might have showed up late to this broadcast, tomorrow is going to be huge. We're going to talk about rest days. We're going to talk about cheating, in terms of diet, nutrition. Also, those of you that may have been kicking around the idea of joining my exclusive Facebook group called Swolenormous Premium, you might hear me talk about Premium a lot. That is my private membership community where we have, I love this community. We have so many people from different walks of life, from different countries, and with different goals, but everyone wants to improve and better themselves. We got people posting up a lot about meal preparation. We're discussing diet. We're discussing a lot of program design, posture, different ways to design and organize your training. In addition, we talked a lot about yoga yesterday. We talked a lot about daily habits. And today, going to follow up a little bit on this about deloading and resting. So we're doing a little more program design after today's episode, immediately after in Premium. So if you're a member of Premium, make sure you check me out there. Make sure you have, obviously you have live notifications on because it's an exclusive group. But those of you that are interested and kicking around the idea of joining Premium, make sure you watch tomorrow's episode, because sometimes I give away Kegel's t-shirts. Sometimes I give away Kegel's undershirts, the racerback tanks. Tomorrow's episode, I will tell you how you can possibly win a membership to Swolenormous Premium. So those of you that aren't signed up yet, you better get your ass in gear and get into Swolenormous Premium, because that's where I'm going right now. That's where all the Q&A, that's where all the training happens. Daily Swole is where I drop the knowledge bombs. So Premium is where I'm going to help everyone apply this information that I just talked about now. It's good shit. Listen to it again, rewatch it if you need to, but make sure if you need extra help and you need some extra guidance and accountability on a daily basis, check out and sign up for Swolenormous Premium. You can click the sign up button at the top of my Facebook page or go to swolenormous.com to get access to that. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me for episode 249 of the Daily Mother Swole. Remember the rules. I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday for episode 250 of the Daily Swole, the best and most swoliolist podcast in the motherfucking universe. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.